Hey everybody, it's day 8 of my self-isolation. I'm trying a couple of different things today. I got a different light here. I'm going to try this because I've been looking at the quality of these videos I've been making and they're not very good. And I got to make a point of looking at the lens because I tend to look at the screen. There's a little screen over here and I look at that, which means I'm looking away. So I'll try to focus on this lens. It's almost like what I need is, well, I'm not actually using a script at all, in case you can't tell. But anyways, let's get back to the point. It's day 8 of my coronavirus self-isolation. And once again, lots of stuff's changed in the world. You know, I was watching the news yesterday. President Donald Trump was doing a speech. And he made a really interesting comment about Canada. He says that they were sending troops up to the Canadian border because he wanted to keep the steel out of the United States. Like, what the fuck? He wants to keep the steel out of the United States? And why the hell would a Canadian want to go to the United States right now anyways? You know, here in Canada, we've got healthcare. Like, you know, if we get sick, we don't have to worry about losing our home, for one thing. You know, I think that in Canada, they've taken a lot better measures to protect us. Obviously, we have a much smaller population. You know, you're comparing 35 million to 255 million. That makes a big difference. But of course, everything's going to be proportional. It means that the hospitals are proportional. And the bulk of the people are still in cities, right? They're urban, not necessarily rural. But you know, I have no idea why he would even be considering sending troops to the border of Canada to keep people out of the country when we're, I don't know, I guess it's possible we could have some immigrants. I don't know how they would have gotten here. They would have had to come through the United States to start with. Well, I guess they could have flown in. I don't know. It just seems really, really, really weird to me that he would make that type of comment. Like, watching him speak is difficult. Watching your president speak is difficult because he just doesn't really seem to have it. And I'm going to make a contrast. There was another speech yesterday with Governor Cuomo, who is the New York governor. And you know, you watch him and he's a no bullshit guy. He tells it like it is. He seems honest. He seems straightforward. He seems to know what he's talking about. And, you know, I realize that from what I've read, he's not perfect either. But at least he, you know, you can watch him and listen to him, and he's intelligent and he makes sense. When Trump speaks at these press conferences, I don't know, it's like a TV show. I don't know. All I can say is, for if any Americans are watching this, yeah, well, I don't know. I guess if you like TV stars, it's a good way to go, but I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see if he gets elected again. Really interesting. I guess it'll be a big question to the state of the country. I'm not necessarily saying Joe Biden's the perfect choice, but at least with Joe Biden, he seems somewhat intelligent. Seems like he actually has other interests in heart than his own. Anyways, now that's my comments about Donald Trump and Cuomo. You know, other stuff. Once again, more people died. Lots more people. I don't know what the statistics are today, but every time you look, it's more and more people. And I think that the cities are really seeing a lot of problems right now. Obviously, New York is going through some major issues. And now they're saying outbreaks are starting to happen in Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans. Like I said, here in Canada, not saying it's not going to get worse because it probably is, but it seems like we're taking a little bit stricter measures. And today, actually, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that for small businesses, of which I'm one of those small business owners, originally, they were providing a 10% rebate to owners. And essentially, to take advantage of that, what we did was we reduced our deductions, payroll deductions, because every month I have to submit payroll deductions for employees. And it's quite a bit of money. I mean, it's a lot. And so for the last set of payroll deductions, it was 10% of employee wages were being subsidized. So basically we were able to reduce our payroll deductions by 10% of what the total payroll is. And it did make a difference. And now we're being told it's going to be 75%, which is going to make a huge, huge difference in cash flow over the next few months. I figure that we've got a situation now where it's going to be, I'd like to say 3 months, but I think I'm being optimistic. It's probably going to be 6 months before we see any sort of recovery. Oh God, 6 months. But you know, and our business deals in the hospitality industry. It deals with hotels, which is one of the hardest hit areas. So obviously that is really going to help, because if there's, to keep the staff working, I think that's super critical, not only from a morale point of view, but everything else. You know, people want to work. I want to believe that people want to work and contribute. So this will go a long ways. I'm not saying it's not going to be tight still. We don't know what the impacts are going to be on us ultimately. We've already had some of our customers talk to us about their bills and invoicing. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So anyways, that's one big thing. And then I'm going to mention something else here. And I said it before, I think a couple of days ago, in one of the videos I posted, I talked about people purposely going out and they know that they're sick, or they flew home when they were sick, and of course that can spread the virus as well. Well, I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and obviously I'm not going to say the name of the person. That doesn't make any sense, but we'll just say that he's American, younger guy, in his early 30s. And he was saying that he was pretty sick last week. He was coughing. He had a fever. He admitted to me. He says, there's a good chance I had COVID-19. I had coronavirus. He says, but, I live by myself. I hate to cook. I went out and ate every day. I went to a restaurant every day. What the fuck? Like, how? I don't know. Like, that just blows me away. Why would you do that? I mean, at the very least, order in food. Like, don't you have any sense of moral responsibility? And I think that this is the real problem with our society and people in our society. And whether you're Canadian, American, European, African, it doesn't really matter. I think that you're going to have a group of people that are going to have a moral standing and are saying, yeah, this is the right thing to do. And then you're going to have this other group of people over here that just don't give a fuck. They don't really care. And those are the people that really scare me, because it's going to be really hard to get this under control. And, really, what's the difference between that? Somebody who does that, if they know that they're sick, that should be a crime. And it should be a punishable crime. Of course, now what are you going to do? You can't put them in jail, because now the jails are problems. You can't lock them up. I don't know what the answer to that is. I just don't know. But really, you are purposely going out and potentially infecting people. And, this guy, like I said, in his early 30s, he's probably better now. He didn't get super sick. Hey, all the power for you. But, what about somebody like myself? I'm in my early 50s, right? I've got my ex-wife who's actually got major health issues. She's doing her hardest right now to get through them. But, her immune system is not good. And, if she gets infected, it's probably not going to be a good situation. It's probably not going to be good. Or our parents who, people my age, parents are going to be in their 60s, 70s, 80s. They're probably not going to survive this. So, it's just a sense of moral responsibility. Like, and how do you stop it? So I was talking to somebody last night, another person, different person. They were saying that and this person's actually a detective in the San Francisco area, in the Bay Area. He had to go in for his COVID tests. And he mentioned to me that in certain countries, I can't remember what country he said, whether it's somewhere in Asia or South America, the police have canes, and if they see somebody out, they're caning them, right? Like literally caning them to get them off the streets. You know, obviously that would never fly here in North America, but maybe those are the measures that we need to take. Maybe if people are out without a proper excuse and you can't arrest them, you need to give them a good smack. I don't know. Of course, then what happens if the other person has a bigger cane than you? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of issues around that. But you know what I'm seeing, where the extreme measures need to come in. Then, then they're talking about maybe fining people. Well, great, fine you $10,000. But if I don't have $10,000, what am I going to do? What's the difference? What difference is it going to make? All of these things are going to make this worse, and it's going to take longer. And like I said before, I really think we're just at the tip of the iceberg. I think this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Everywhere, whether it's Canada or the United States or South America or Europe. You know, you look at China. Well, here's the one thing I will say about China is that their government, obviously I would not want to live under that type of a system. But when their government says you stay in, people stay in, and they stay in because they know if they go out, they're probably going to be shot, right? Literally shot or put to death or something. It's like when the Chinese government speaks, you listen. Because people know that you don't fuck with them. Here, everybody fucks with the government. And probably a sense of our entitlement as first world countries, although you can't necessarily say that China isn't a first world country. They've got a lot of technological advances and stuff like that. But even in a place like Seoul, Korea, which is a democratic society, people listened, right? They went inside, and that's why things have gotten a lot better over there. You have to listen. You have to do what's the right thing. Not everybody's going to die from this. The majority of people are not going to die. The majority of people are going to get better. But there is going to be a lot of people that do die. And if you look at those statistics, like I said, as of, I don't know, yesterday or maybe this morning, I think I saw 23,000 or 22,000 people had died. And it's logarithmic, right? So it's kind of going on a scale like this. 86,000 people infected in the United States. Only a few thousand infected in Canada, but that's those are the numbers that we know about. We're not testing everybody, so there could be a lot more people infected than that. But yeah, so and people are worried about the economy, and I'm worried about the economy. I'm worried about work. I'm worried about bringing enough money. I'm worried about being able to pay my bill. I'm worried about all that stuff. I really am. But at least the government is stepping in and helping out, and I do believe that once this is all over, it'll get better. Although, as a final note, the other thing I was thinking, okay, so the banks are deferring mortgages, and the government's putting in all this money. In one way or another, they're gonna want to get it back. So does that mean that after this is all over, once the economy gets back in better shape, the banks are going to triple their interest rates for mortgages? I'm sure there's probably regulations around that. Probably it's all tied to the prime rate, but yeah, they're going to want to make money again, or at least recover the money. And even the government, if they put in these billions and billions, and what is it as of now, $100 billion, which is still a fraction compared to what the U.S. is talking, like $3 trillion or $2 trillion in the U.S. But, eventually somebody's going to have to pay for that. Eventually that money's going to have to come from somewhere. Probably our kids. So, anyways, those are my rants and raves for today. Those are my thoughts about today. And, yeah, so hey, if I'll be posting videos daily. It's not like I have anything else to do. Well, actually, that's not true. I got lots of stuff to do. I said I'm working. I got work to do. And it's Friday, so it's going to the weekend. 7 days left. 7 days left of my isolation. And then, assuming that the government hasn't put a complete lockdown, at least I'm going to go for a bike ride. Of course, keeping in mind that I'm going to stay away from people. So I'm definitely not going to go near anybody. So don't say that I'm a hypocrite because what have I just said, right? You could call me a hypocrite, I guess. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But, you know, we're going to follow the rules, and I think that's what's important, is follow the rules. Don't infect other people. Don't put yourself into a situation where if you are sick, you aren't going to get other people sick, because then this thing will never stop. Well, it'll stop eventually, I guess, because everybody will get sick, and then the virus won't have any place to go. So anyways, okay, enough. I have to talk about some stuff tomorrow. So until tomorrow, I'll talk to you then. Hey, if you got any comments, any rants and raves of your own, please post them in the comments below. I'd like to see what you have to say. And stay safe. Please stay safe. And, you know, if you're sick, don't go out. That's fucking stupid. Don't do it. All right? Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.